Okay, broadcasting. Oh, well, I hope so. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah. I'll put them right there, I think. Yeah. Kind of bleached out, but oh well. I'm a bleached out human, but okay, so. News. Big news, of course. Donald J. Trump. Of course. Anyway, Donald J. Trump, I knew he'd get nailed. Now, Jack Smith, from what I gather from the news, I don't even know Donald except through his apprentice stuff he wanted to get me on his TV show. In letters. I have the letters, but I wasn't interested at the time. No, not my world, okay? It's one TV show I really turned down. Thank God. Anyway, I had my own encounters with that crazy Canadian. Trudeau. Gun control. Which made the RCMP come visit me and then talk to me. And I had a cold at the time, I remember. 1978. Okay? And they said, well, our investigation's going to take longer, you know. And they're comfortable in the police car, and they drove me down to the police station. North Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Then they said, we'll have to lock you up. Okay. Oh, I think about 4 hours or something like that, or 5 hours, whatever it was. Then they released me and gave me a statement saying, promise to appear in court. So, I phoned Tom Bongelis. He says, oh, you should contact R. Flynn Marr, who's going to come visit me, too, sometime here. Who's now into cameras. He was a gun collector, too, and he couldn't believe what happened, and he said, I'll be over in the morning. Apparently, 13 of us gun collectors in Canada got the same kind of treatment, okay? Then that inspired the newspapers have copies of all of this, by the way, and news media, television. Which led into a unique situation where I could lambast or tell the press all about Trudeau and his stupid nonsense gun control. And that's made, this is interesting. For me, I guess, but not for you. Because I was a machine gun collector, 50 caliber Brownings. Those time progressed, the media covered it. A trial ensued, and the cops, of course, half the collection was taken away. So they come in the morning to Judge Cronin's court, Judge Cronin, and gave their statements. They'd have to bring out, I think it's about 750 caliber Browning machine guns, and put them on a table. I said to my lawyer, that table could collapse. Those things are heavy. So anyway, as we progressed along, my lawyer did well. I think it was about 5-7 days or something like that in court hearings. Press covered it. And the crime lab people, their statements were in my favor. A big what if. Well, what if John was to restore these? Well, one was restored, and I owned it as a cult model. I got all these papers and witnesses to back all this up. So anyway, the judge slammed his gavel down and said, this is ridiculous. I believe in this particular case, entrapment was going ahead against Mr. Hutchison. Reasons for judgment, and went on and on and on. And then My lawyer was very excited. He says, now we've made history, which is true. It was written up in the law books, you know. And they were forced to return my gun collection through Pierre Elliott Trudeau's ridiculous actions. And later on, I wrote members of parliament, and including new Prime Minister Joe Clark, who wrote me back. Still have the letter about thanking me for the issues on gun control. And we then proceed to go after with the provincial ombudsman to sue the cops. So what references does this have to Trump? Well, we're dealing with crooked politicians, right? And one of the worst politicians I've been following for a while on the internet, main news, other news, the crime of how much crime that Donald has created. Very serious crimes. And sexual assault. So you got a crooked president, a former president. It's quite impressive. I mean, wow. So I guess that Donald will probably not make it into as president, of course. I mean, who would elect a criminal? He should be disbarred from trying to get into the White House, but I think he might take off to another country, disappear that way. If he stays in the USA, he's going to be thrown in jail, and he knows that. But the interesting thing about Donald Trump is anything he says is the direct opposite of the reality. That's how crooked he is. Anything he says is the direct opposite. He can't say the truth, he just makes up a story and goes with it. Like eating pets and all that. Trying to sell wristwatches and... What a pathetic old fool. Gee. You think the young generation wants something like that in as president? I don't think so. Jeez. I consider myself part of the young generation. I'm not really into all that garbage that these people talk about, you know. I never grew up, so there you have it. Well, that's my opinion of Donald. Who supports Donald? Well, we learned that Elon Musk, communist probably, or some parts, yeah, with Tesla's car, and probably hangs out with Putin or the idiot in North Korea. John or something like that, some nutcase. Another crazy psychopath. But anyway, they love each other and they have fun together. That's my statement on the whole thing, so I don't know where that leads to, but I just wanted to mention that. I noticed that Wikipedia now posts all about Donald under a video news media, so hopefully I can get Wiki to post all about Donald under my video, but I see a lot of people don't have that. But anyway, we'll see. His vice president really was kind of a very interesting person. He didn't want to do what Trump wanted. So Donald goes on and on about the new lady now, Harris and Pence. It's on and on. I mean, it's. I'm at the other end of the internet, so all the news media is covering it. So what do? And newspapers. Plus, I have personal friends that know all about Trump and wrote articles on him. I think it's called Daily Kos, Kos. Feature articles, really well-made articles. So I sent him links to Glenn Kirshner. You just can't have a madman running around. Because he'd use, he did, when he was in power, he used, was it the Department of Homeland Security, ICE police, as his soldiers, like Nazism, to round up people that were innocent. So that's Donald Trump. Other than that, I've been busy. Got the case made. I'm going to mount my receiver in that case. I'll show you real quick. I'm going to paint it black, flat black. Reach for this guy here. Let's see here. These are patients over there. Okay, wait to be placed. So there's on that paper. That's the case I made for this fellow. Another RCH receiver. That's fun building that. And it'll fit in there perfect. Got it all restored. Where are you hiding? Over there. Okay. Now you can see underneath it. It's got plates and everything, and it's been restored and rewired. So, I learned a lot about RCH Scott radio. Low interference type receiver. It's fun learning. I learned a lot from Bob Greener's Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project and pretty exotic stuff he talks about. It's good to see Bob Greener doing that because the scientists I knew, I only a few were still alive, we'll be visiting them, but they were into that stuff, but they all passed away. Sadly. I wrote a long letter to got it professionally done to Hans Adam in Europe, showing him the latest stuff here. Haven't heard back from Hans Adam. I think he's probably very busy. But we started communication in 1989 in Germany when I was there. Up to present, actually, he sent me his last book, his new book. That was some years ago now, 5 years ago, something like that. Huh. But his wife passed away, Princess passed away, unfortunately. He's probably hurting a lot from that. It's good to keep in touch, you know. Another friend of mine, I haven't heard from him in a while, Charles Bombardier Aerospace, wanted me to move into his parents' mansion to make power cells. But that's a while ago now, but no, I don't. No, I said no. I turned down a lot of offers. It takes me away from what I'm doing, kind of like here, which is also like what I was doing in the apartment, doing various other things. So, and then my friend back in New York contacted me and about power cells and said, "Oh, I made them for clients that paid me well for making them, and they work. I'm not going to sit around fiddling with that stuff unless I'm properly funded. I just don't have an interest in free energy things, you know." If you want to study about free energy, check out Bob Greener's Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project or Nikola Tesla. Okay? Study Tesla all the way through right to his Colorado Spring notes. Then you'll understand what it is all about, okay? But Tesla, the basis, and other old timers like that a long time ago. I studied them. I studied Steinmetz and all these old timers, Faraday and Ampere, and that's why I like old stuff. One reason. You'd be quite surprised on what they have done. In one video, they talk about Tesla shaking a building and stuff started flying around. So, yeah, that stuck with me for a long time. Gave me more insight into something. And for me to open source all this, talking about it would be useless. I visualize and create stuff. I'd have to go over every circuit, how I do this from electrostatic potentials, electromagnetism to high voltage and high frequency. You can start by building 1898 Tesla's disruptive discharge transformer. I did years ago in the 80s. I got to rebuild it because it got stolen or something. I wonder if it's at Randy's place, the mysterious Randy that Alexander Sharashevsky talks about. Apparently has stuff stored away somewhere. But Alec is not cooperating. He did return a few variacs and a few coils, but I don't know. Anyway, I got to get to the scrapyard and get supplies again, like insulators and bits of metal and stuff. In Petaluma. And more test gear somehow. It's quite a challenge using eBay all the time, because unless you go to the scrapyard, hit it lucky, but wow. See, in Canada, the scrapyards are like blocks away. I could go there and search for anything I wanted, and it was there too. And surplus stores, wow. West Baker military surplus store was on Front Street, New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada. Now run by new people, but I got a lot of goodies from West Baker. At the end of the day, lock up the store and we go in the back room and go through stuff. Old stuff and that kind of thing, and stuff I'm not going to talk about. So, yeah, so I miss this Vancouver scrapyard. North Star Salvage. You can see some of it in some of my videos from Ark of the Covenant Revealed. I was co-producer of that whole thing. 1 hour long for Discovery Channel International. That's all it's there. It's on the internet. Ark of the Covenant Revealed. Hour long. And then there's other TV shows that I'm featured in. Shorts and longs and you name it. And radio shows, maybe 1,000. Uncle Art Bell was fun. But yeah, I've done a lot of shows. I think about 300 main shows for Fox, NBC, CNN. Some were good, some were bad, but some of them were uploaded on YouTube. And they paid well too. And Japan was endless. I got all those too. I wonder if they air them in Japan. With Hiroshi Yamabe, my sponsor at the time. $250,000 build power cells, which I did do, and he took them back to Japan. One I had to rebuild because customs went through it and took it apart. Thought it was a bomb or something, I guess. So, anyway, I did that. And then came along Richard Brewer, tar sands engineer. And we took the power cell to Canadian Research and Development, but they said we don't know what to do with it. You could take it to the military, and that kind of ticked off Richard. And then Richard had to leave for England to attend to his ailing father. And Thomas, I won't use as a famous name. I'm not going to mention the last name, but funded me for about the same amount of money. And the videos are uploaded on Nancy Lazaryan's YouTube channel. Shows us testing it. And that worked out great. There's a few others too, but I built them, they ran. My sponsors couldn't find manufacturing companies to go ahead with it, but anyway, that's weird. It's all in the videos and news broadcasts on it. Anyway. So back to free energy, or leaving free energy now, so. Dr. Marcus Reed is an expert in free energy as well, and also Dr. Marcus Reed, and also Bob Greener. You check them out. Marcus Reed had 1996 patent, December 22, 30, no, I don't know, 30? IBM bought up all the patent rights to it. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that you don't know about, because it's not classified. Well, it is classified. Anti-gravity and time dilation, all that stuff. Because as I mentioned before, I was on the SBIR program and got certain pieces of information about what Los Alamos is doing with antimatter. Check out Dr. Robert Forward on that. You can go to dtic.mil on the internet, but most of it's all not, they're not allowed to do that. It wrecks the contractors' stuff. Because there's competition between every division, and Air Force, Navy, Army, so on. A big competition, so. But I've met contractors who are very active, very interesting folks. Gave me $100 for my demo, $100 bill. They just fire it up and things happen. He says, that was impressive, thank you. Because he showed me his tiny anti-gravity machine. And nobody believes me, you know. And luckily, that's why I keep all the papers and documents and pictures and news and media stuff. You said this, and I just whip out the paper. Well, look, that's what it says, so. And most people think I'm crazy, loony, dressing like this, you know, which I only do in private. I hear 4 feet moving. Who's that, Evio? But no, when dealing with people, pretty okay. I dress kind of like female in a way, but not all the way. I just never was programmed, thank God, to hate anybody, as well as, yeah. I never joined the human race ever since I was a kid. I just wouldn't go to school, kindergarten, school, never. Nope. I'd run away, do my own thing. Always have been that way. Thank God to agoraphobia I had since birth. You didn't know that, did you? And my weird lifestyle. When I heard about issues with black people in the USA, I thought, what? Just because somebody's in the sun on another part of the planet. Person prejudice? It makes sense to me. It's the same with the gay and lesbian community. Well, everybody's got their own inner wisdom and inner thing, so doesn't bother me any. Thank God I'm not into that world of hating people, so. Outside of Dr. Danny's office, having coffee next door was the Iranian store. I'd be sitting talking to somebody from Iran, somebody from Iraq. We became good friends, you know. I just don't understand this prejudice crap. It's a planet, right? What is it, only 12,000 miles in diameter? Small planet. It's got a sun. And there's humans on it. So, and countries are basically just groups of people that want to do their own thing, kind of. And then they have big wars, kill each other because somebody else is doing something wrong, and blah, blah, blah. And you got crazy people like Adolf Hitler and Donald Trump wanting to destroy a whole race. So, still hard to me understand that world. Maybe that's why I'm so fascinated by Adolf Hitler and Donald Trump. Both are the same. And other lunatics that are psychopathic killers, you know, leaders too. Anyway, I should shut up and get my vitamins. Anyway, it's good to see us another psychopath hit the dust. What did Adolf Hitler do? Blow his brains out? Well, hopefully, never mind. I won't go into hate speech. As bad as that they are, huh? I think that Donald's gonna move to another country and disappear. He stays here, I'm sure he's gonna go to jail. That's something he won't like that much. Stay out of jail. You characters out there always follow the law and respect the law. It's made to protect you and others. You know? Guardians, you know? Police officers are like guardians, and FBI people and CIA people against evil and things. Don't break the law. It's not worth it. As I said in the beginning of this video, I might run in with Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Kind of a miniature Trumpitude. Hate is a very disastrous emotion. Maybe that's why I'm so fascinated by these psychopaths. Trying to understand what they're doing. I had a lot of training in psychology at Riverview. 13 months in Crease Clinic and then West Lawn Building, and learned a lot of stuff about humans. You can learn too. Go to Psychology Today and study that, but I guess I should get going, but oh well. Have a super day. I hope I recorded this. Did I record it? Oh, I think so. A little Johnny Cupcakes on his way here.